Hello everyone, welcome to Kanha Tiger Reserve, and I am here with Yash and I'm going to be interviewing him today. So Yash is a wildlife naturalist at Kanha Tiger Reserve, and I would love to interview him, and he's been our guide and our friend for the past safaris we have gone through. So, Yash, would you like to introduce yourself and tell us why or how you became a naturalist?
Sure. Good evening, everyone. My name is Yashwajit Singh. As a profession, I'm a naturalist working in Pugdundee safaris in the Madhya Pradesh. So, naturalist is a kind of a person who has a good knowledge about flora and fauna, or the wildlife enthusiast. So it's a very similar word for, you can say, the guide or naturalist. Naturalist is a person who has a knowledge about the flora, fauna, birds, reptiles, amphibians. So these small things which the other guides or the other persons, they are not noticing in the jungles. So we cover all these things. That's why we got this name we call the naturalist. And I have done my certified naturalist training program in Satpura. That's a professional naturalist training program, which is covered by one of the best mentors in India.
Yes, thank you. And would you mind me asking a few questions about Kanha and its preserve?
Sure.
So the first question is, could you please tell us about the history of Kanha and the difference between the olden days and now?
Okay. So Kanha is a very popular park, or the very fascinating park in all over the world, and all over the Asia. This is the very old park in the India, and one of the first nation park become in Madhya Pradesh in 1955, and one of the oldest park among the 6 national park which announced after the Wildlife Protection Act in 1972. So Kanha has a own charm beauty actually. This is evergreen forest. Lots of sal trees are there, like 50 to 60% population of sal trees inside the core area, as well as the mixed deciduous trees like Mahua, Bahira, Hara. These are the Hindi names. Or 20% of mixed deciduous trees, or the 30% of mixed bamboos are there. Or Kanha is also popular for the jewel of Kanha we call a Barasingha. So Barasingha is a subspecies of hard ground Barasingha, which is only found in Kanha National Park. Sometimes people are very confusing about the Barasinghas and the Samadiyas. So Barasingha has a 12 points, we call the 12 branches on antlers. And Barasingha is also a very particular deer about the eatings. It's only eating some certain grasses like Saccharum spontanea or the bamboo grasses and other things. This deer can't eat bark of the trees or the leaves of the trees, is only eating grasses from the park. So Kanha is one of the best managed park for the Barasinghas. There is lots of meadows are there which is very good for the Barasinghas, and it's a successful breeding also I have done in the Kanha meadows near the central point. So in 1940 or the 1930, during that days, the Barasingha population was declined. Only 16 to 17 Barasinghas left in the Kanha National Park. And after very successful reintroductions, now population is more than 800 plus. The Madhya Pradesh Forest Department is also releasing the Barasinghas in Bandhavgarh, some part of Bandhavgarh and some part of the Satpura range. So this is a very interesting thing which make a Kanha interesting or the different from another national parks.
Thank you so much. So the next question is, are there any popular stories about tigers? Like, for example, you must have heard about Machli or Koralwali. Is there any specific tiger which roams in Kanha which is interesting?
Kanha has always been popular for the tigers or the different name of the tigers, but the very popular tiger in Kanha Tiger Reserve we call a Munna. Munna has a very unique stripe pattern mark on a forehead which is called the C80 cat. So Munna is very bold tiger, very used to tiger in the Kanha zone. Unfortunately, he was passed away in last year's 2021 in the Bhopal Banvihar Zoo. So Munna is a legendary tiger in Kanha. So he was born in the protection area called Ajamantela area. Then he make a territory, cover all of the area in the park like core zone or the buffer zones. So all the siblings are coming from the Munna only in this Kanha zone. So his first litter from the Choti Mada female. Choti Madha's lives now in the Mukhi days. So now she is having a 4 cubs towards the Mukhi direction. So Munna is one of the famous tigers in Kanha, as well as one of the fascinating and bold and huge tigers. So this make a different thing about the Kanha National Park. There's many stories, but that I know about the Munnas.
Okay, thank you so much. And here are a few questions about yourself. So, what exactly is your life as a naturalist? Like, how does it feel to stay in this lounge, in this reserve, and help tourists and other animals?
So to be a naturalist is very interesting for me, and this is my loving job. I'm very enjoying my job. This is not a hectic life for me, but some people are thinking this is a tough schedule for us. Of course, a tough schedule, but we are enjoying our life a lot. So get up in early in the morning at 4 o'clock, ready for the safari, and go for the safari. Come back, have a lunch, have a bit of rest, and again go for the safari. So every day is unique for us in the jungle, because we are learning a wildlife in every second and every minute, because jungle is never ever same in this such a way. So you have to learn about the jungles always. So be a naturalist is very fascinating for me, because I've been exploring the park last 15-16 years. I've seen my first tiger when I was in 6th standard in Bandhavgarh National Park. My grandfather is one of the very famous conservator in the Bundelkhand region. His name is Mr. Tribhuvan Singh. So he taught me many things about the wildlife, about the conservations, about respecting of the animals, not a tiger, each animal in the jungle, even the small birds, small reptiles are very interesting for me. I love all the flora and fauna. It's not only the mammals, I love the birds, I love the reptiles, amphibians like frog, snakes, toads and all, scorpions, lizards and everything. They are interesting. Butterflies also a very fascinating part for me, because butterflies are a bit difficult to spot, or learning about the wildlife, the characteristics about the wildlife is also difficult. So this is a kind of a job we are doing for the lodges or for the guests, because guests is our responsibility, and we will give a wonderful experience for them which they are never forgot when they come for the park in central India and the Pugdundee wildlife resources.
Thank you so much. And so here's an interesting question which many tourists must be thinking. How are people like you able to spot these kind of animals at such short notice? How is your mindset trained to do that?
So to be a naturalist or to be a guide is not a very common thing. If you become a naturalist or guide, so that's fine, but in the jungle you have to learn many things, because if you have a guest, you keen wildlife guest or the keen birder guest, so you have to spot some birds for them, and this is everything comes with the training, your experience. So every day do a birding for the spotting and learn the calls, how the birds are sitting, how the birds are calling, then you can easily recognize the birds or calls. Or for tigers also, because like 70 to 80% clients love to see the tigers. So tigers are not easy to spot in the jungle. You have to trek basically in the Kanha, because Kanha is one of the thickest park in India. So you have only one option during the safaris, you have to trek a tigers. So there's lots of many interesting thing about the tigers. First, you're always looking for the fresh pug marks when you're going for the safaris. If you find the fresh pug marks, then you should keep follow the pug marks. Then here are some alarm calls. Then after the alarm calls, you have 2-3 options. You have to know about the tigers Pugdundee, or basically called the foot trails of tigers, because tigers prefer to walk on a proper pathway on the soft sands, because they have very sensitive paws. So you need to know this, which is the better way for the tigers and where they come out from which way. Then you track the tigers and other things also, because tigers is not only important part of the wildlife. It is single animals like spotted deer, sama deer, barasingha, blackbird. Everything is important for the jungle, for the conservation. So you have to show for your guests, because the run for the tiger is not a wildlife enthusiast quality. So you have to show everything, whatever you know in the jungle. And this is the important thing, to be a naturalist and give a best experience to your guests as well.